I was a father at 14. My wife and I met when I was 11, and we had my first son there, and I had all my children by the time I was 17, so we were very young parents, and I didn't know how to communicate with my wife or my children. Parenthood and being a father was all very, very new to me. Because I had difficulty expressing myself and communicating with my wife, that caused a lot of family disruption and almost family disintegration.
I got involved with this particular journey probably about 15 years ago through my own violence towards my family as a gang member. And consequently my wife left. My wife just got fed up with the lifestyle, you know, the parties, the drug abuse, the police kicking down our door all the time and being led away handcuffed, and our daughter seeing her dad marched out of the door. And so my wife, that's it. She gave me an ultimatum. She said, you know, choose your friends or choose me and your daughter. And like the pig-headed guy I was, I chose my friends, and then my wife left.
I knew that what I was doing was wrong, but I didn't know how to access help, and I didn't know, I was very proud, I was very young, and I felt that I could deal with it there, but I saw that my behaviour and my acting out was affecting all the people that I loved the very most. And I decided that it was me, it wasn't my wife, it wasn't my children, it was me, and that if I wanted to fix it, then I was the one that was causing the trouble, and I was the one that needed to go and reach out for help.
Well, I found myself faced with a lengthy jail term. Found myself sitting in a courthouse in Whangarei, and I sat before the presiding judge. His name was Judge Rutherford Paul, and had history with Judge Rutherford Paul. Over the years I would turn up to court every Monday. I wasn't too sure if I was going to appear, but I appeared anyway just in case my name got called out. And so we had this connection, Judge Paul and I, and then he decided that he wasn't going to send me to jail, and he said that he would give me a break. And he said to me, Paikea, if you continue to go down the road that you're going, prison's going to be your future. And so he didn't send me to jail. Got periodic detention, and so I did all that stuff. Once I completed all that stuff, I packed my bags, jumped on a plane and headed off down to Christchurch to look for my wife. Found her, made all the promises under the sun. You know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But this time I meant it. And so I was on the road to my journey to change.
I didn't have connections with wider family, and so in terms of mentoring or coaching or peer support, I sort of felt quite abandoned and alone, and very, very sort of frustrated.
First of all, I had to recognise I had a problem. As far as I was concerned, I didn't have a problem, and it wasn't until I was challenged at a men's group. A guy came to see me, says, bro, I need help. I've been hitting my wife and I won't stop. Can you help me? I said, listen, mate, I know a person that I could take you to, and she may be able to help you. That was Sue. And so I took him into this program called Men Beyond Violence, and asked the person if the facilitator, George, could be a part of it as a self-referral. They said, yes, of course. Now, George, being a real shy person, when he's sober, said, oh, bro, can you stay with me for this session? Because I'm a bit shy, I don't know any fellas here. So I asked the person if I could stay, and they said, no, you can't. And I said, oh, okay. They says, you can stay, but you have to do the program for 28 weeks. So to support him, that's what I did. I did the program for 28 weeks alongside George. And what that did for me was challenged my beliefs about being a man.
I went and got help, and I learned to communicate a lot better with my wife. I learned that I had to be more patient, more understanding, and that parenting is more than a wife's role. We had traditional roles where my wife would stay home with the children and I would go to work, and as a young dad I thought that was my only obligation, to being a father. But I've learned that parenting is a dual responsibility.
Where my teenage boy Tāne went through his teenage years from 13 through to 16, I can honestly tell you that I was a really terrible father. I wasn't there for him. I made some choices around how I treated him emotionally that really had an impact on him. And so, you know, through the years, I owned those experiences with him, and now my son and I have an amazing relationship, you know, and we talk to one another as men. He's 18 years old, he's doing really great out in the world, and I just think that, you know, the struggles that I went through taught me how to be a great dad. And that's what I will continue to be with my younger children, is to be a great dad for them.
As a teenager, I ran away from home. My mum and dad, they were good parents, but you know, they were the hidings. Mum got the bash from dad, and you know, I guess my dad was taught wrong, and thus he believed wrong. And rather than admit it and change, like myself, I'd rather stay wrong than admit it and change. So that's how it was for us.
You know, there are generational things that happen, or experiences which continue to go on and on and on in generations to come, because somebody's not actually saying no more, and somebody's not opening a door for others to heal. I mean, we need to actually be able to comfort those people and say, look, let's sit down and have a talk about what you're going through. Why are you doing this to your family? What sort of other choices could you make, or do you need help to deal with this?
I've now got teenage grandchildren, and I see another generation of young parents coming through who have the same difficulties, that fall into the same potholes. And I guess my key message to my grandchildren and to anyone that's watching is to it's okay to be scared, it's okay to feel a little bit frustrated at times, but love your partner, love your children, and above all else, if you feel scared, it's okay, but go and get help.
We tend to be very hard on ourselves, and we've got a lot of behaviours that actually shut ourselves down. It's Māori men particularly, because they've grown up to be staunch, and you know, they have to handle stuff, and we don't naturally talk about how we are feeling, and that can sometimes sit with us and cause all sorts of internal pressures, which then come out in ugly ways.
Being a gang member back then, there was an air of respect for for you, and I guess I had that from my wife too. But there was an element of fear. I thought it was mana, but it wasn't really. And when they feared me, I thought, oh well, you know, I've got this mana thing going on, but it wasn't. In actual fact, it was misplaced mana. You know, that, and it was given to me through fear, and to me that's not mana. And so when I made those changes in my life, all that persona of being a big tough gang member just went off me, and then I found myself naked and vulnerable. When I was restored to my wife and to my children, it was them that gave me the mana back. It was them that gave it to me freely. And so over the years, I've actually maintained that mana. I've actually shared that mana. And it's just a wonderful thing to be able to be given that kōrero by a family that used to fear you. But now they've given it to me because they love me. And I receive it in the way that was given, which is in love. And so I still wear that today.
I had to really look inside myself and deal with the past, and make sure that when I came out of it, I had a pathway of, you know, 1, loving myself lots, 2, loving my family, and living a life of integrity, you know, making sure that I made really great choices so that I could role model for others, and so I could lead not only my whānau, but, you know, my wider family down a path of positivity, and also, you know, having a life they really, really love.
Now I've learnt how to process my anger now, and I still get angry. Don't get me wrong. We're entitled to a bad hair day now and again, and like laughing is an emotion, so is anger. But there is that thin line that you can cross over where you want to do bodily damage to another person. So I stop short of that.
Just make sure that you really check in with yourself and know how you're feeling. And if you're feeling low or you're having trouble, make sure you ask for help. You know, it's hard sometimes, but I know for myself now, I've got to a place where if I'm finding things difficult, I ask for help. So never be whakamā or ashamed of asking for help from others.
I may be fizzing at the bung, but I've learned to deal with it. Go for a walk, or do something that I like doing. Jump on my motorbike and go for a ride. And then when I come back home, my wife and I sit down, we communicate, and then, gosh, you know, the honeymoon period starts all over again. And so I've learned to do that over the years. And so it's my family. So I have 6 daughters and 1 son. So my family deem me as a safe man. And you'll find that the woman that I work with over the years would probably tell you the same thing. I'm that confident in saying that those women that I work with will tell you that Phil Paikea is a safe man.